Is that it?
That's it.
A 425, please.
All right, let's see. Kenny, keep your mask on.
Sorry, we don't take cash.
Okay. 1 second. Is that me?
Sorry, we don't take card either.
I'm sorry? What am I supposed to use?
Can you step to the side so you can figure this out?
Can I speak to your manager? No! Excuse me. Do you guys take checks?
We don't need it.
I have the money.
We don't need it.
Okay, what the hell is that? When was that implemented? I don't have that.
Sorry. But we're cashless now. I had to implement the new system just to stay in business.
It's okay, Mom. We don't need it. Let's just go.
I hope you understand. Oh, but hey, if you want to check out Mike's Corner store right up the street, you might have some luck.
Thank you.
Soon you will be able to pay for groceries at every Whole Foods in the U.S. with just a swipe of your hand. Amazon says that the Pay by Palm technology will be at all of those stores nationwide by the end of the year. Customers just have to hover their hand over the device to pay. This method is already being used at 200 Whole Foods locations across 20 states, and you can also find it in other places, stores like Panera Bread.
Wow.
Hardware editor at TechCrunch, Brian Heater, joins us now. Brian, let's just start off. Tell us how this technology works.
Sure. So in terms of the actual enrollment process, the first time you go to one of these
They're
Amazon
preparing it right in front of our
locations,
faces.
you wave your hand over
It's
it, that will
happening.
enroll you in the program, and then you associate that with a credit card that you have on file. In terms of the actual underlying technology behind it,
Why do you
it's
think
not
the
actually
world's in
getting a
chaos
read
for?
of the palm itself, which, I think is what most people expect. It's actually taking a look at the vein patterns underneath your hands, which Amazon is effectively saying is a way to do this kind of biometric identification without actually giving any identifying information away.
That's fascinating. I mean, I think anybody who hears this story immediately goes to questions about safety, privacy, the data that's being collected.
They
Amazon
always
has been
collect your
criticized in the
data
past for some of the
and
data
your
that they
privacy.
collect, and they're whether
Even
they
if they
have
tell you they're not.
properly notified consumers about that. What safeguards is Amazon taking?
Sure. Well, the primary one is all of this is going through Amazon's cloud servers. So this is encrypted information. Amazon has generally done a good job of protecting privacy through the cloud itself. I think one of the sort of bigger concerns around this specifically is that unlike the biometric data that you're giving on your phone, for example, that's stored locally on the device itself, but this is going up into the cloud. So like theoretically, somebody could potentially grab that data, but it's intensely difficult.
The ability to pay for anything, anywhere, could be in the palm of your hand, literally. Amazon rolling out its new palm paying technology to hundreds of Whole Foods stores around the country. Some Panera Bread locations have already started to utilize this feature as well. And you may have already seen it pop up in airports, stadiums, and casinos also. So how does it work?
Wow.
News Nation's Elizabeth Pran is here to explain.
Wow.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, if you're thinking, what is biometrics, you might be more familiar with it than you know. If you think about it, every time you open up your iPhone, you're using facial recognition. Prior to that, you were using your thumbprint. But just imagine if you had to go to the grocery store on your way home from work and you didn't have your phone or your wallet. If you're going to one of these Whole Foods locations, all you need is your palm. In fact, Amazon is halfway through the rollout. They're going to be outfitting 500 of their Whole Foods stores with this pay with your palm. Yes, your hand. You simply hover your palm over an Amazon One device, and it scans the veins under your skin. So that creates a map that's unique to you. It identifies you, links you to your profile that you signed up with on Amazon One, and voila, you're done. You've paid. So if you're living near the 200 locations that have already signed up, it's in states such as Montana, Colorado, California, Georgia, really all over. You've probably already seen it. And like you mentioned, we've seen this pay by palm at Panera and baseball parks and NASCAR raceways and retailers. And it sounds so simple, but how does this all work and where does the information go? So it's not a credit card or a password. So Amazon will say it's safer, right? Because it can't be duplicated, or, you can't be impersonated by someone at the store. And while we did liken the technology to you opening up your phone, it's actually quite different, because all the data they receive about your palm is actually stored in the cloud. And that's why we're seeing criticism from critics. They're saying, wait, not so fast. There are privacy, security, even human rights concerns when it comes to any type of biometrics tracking. So could the cloud storage for palm signatures be hacked? Could it be, could that information be provided to the government if they asked, or could ever be shared? So there's a handful of states that do have legislation, or they're considering laws to regulate biometrics in the public sector. And it's actually quite timely, because Amazon is already facing a class action suit for some of their Amazon Go stores in New York. They have a system where you can walk out with items without paying for it, because they can have the RF code and they know what you basically purchased at the store. So we have reached out for comment from Amazon. We haven't heard back, but we do suspect that we'll see additional states sort of looking to this technology and saying, is it safe for the consumer? So I think we'll see more of this, Kelly.
All right, and a lot to consider here. Elizabeth Pran, thank you so much for the breakdown.
I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my That's the coolest thing ever.
Grand Rising Butterflies, this is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. Welcome back to the channel. I missed you guys so much. If this is your first time coming across my channel and you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Guys, I missed you guys so much. I am very excited to be able to present a video to you guys today. What I'm going to be talking about today is a very important topic that I feel has been weighing on my spirit that I need to talk about. I had a crazy happening over the weekend, guys. I had a video that I had been working on, and every time I tried to upload it, there was a problem with the material that I was putting in my video. It had a copyright strike, and I've never been copyright strike before, and it was because of an instrumental that was playing in the back of a video for about 2 minutes long. So I'm going to work on that video again and find some new video clips that I can implement into my video that I don't have to worry about getting copyright strike, because I feel that it's the enemy trying to stop me from presenting the message, because what I'm going to be talking about in that video is something that is very important that I see. I didn't know it was as important as it was until the Most High put it on my spirit. And after I started to research the topic, I realized that it was something I really needed to get into. So that video is coming soon. So watch out for that. I'm not going to say it could. It will most definitely be this week. As you can tell by the title of this video, we will be talking about price inflation, financial gain stalking, and the mark of the beast. And before I get into my content, I would like to give a shout out to my credible sources: openbible.info, n.wikipedia.org, crossway.org, cnn.com, and cbsnews.com. Guys, what prompted me to make this video is it seems that all I've been hearing about lately is money. Money, 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 money. And it's getting to the point to where it's starting to sound very systematic and robotic. And I felt that the Most High raised my discernment in this area because he wanted me to discuss this topic. When you go into the stores, it seems like everything is so high that the prices are being raised before your head can spin. So I felt that it was very important for me to shed light on this. Now, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Consumer Price Index, the value of today's dollar only buys 4.122% of what it used to, guys. And since the 1800s, today's prices are also 24.26 times as high as they used to be. And according to my research, society's current inflation rate in comparison to last year's is 3.18% higher, while the inflation rate in the 1800s was 2.44%. So as you can see, the inflation rate has actually increased tremendously over the decades, over the years. And as we all know, the pandemic has had a lot to do with the crash of the economy, as well as an increased number of citizens falling into significant hardship. And during this time, millions of people lost their jobs. And although employment rates began to slightly rise, I would say some months after the crisis in 2020, unemployment rates were still at an all-time high. And this remained throughout 2021, with over 20 million households reporting not having enough food, and over 10 million households reporting being behind in their rent payments. Now, guys, as we know, shelter and food, at this time being the most accessible, has taken a financial toll on many due to their many price increases over the past few years. And according to an article, guys, that I came across in CNBC.com, rent prices will keep increasing in 2023. And apparently in August, there had been a $10 a month decrease in about 50 cities in the nation. However, rent payments are set to take an increase due to the inflation in homeowner cost, as well as a double in mortgage expenses since January of this year. Now, guys, this has caused many people who has desired to be future homeowners to remain in the lane of renting. And this causes even more of a financial burden due to the high demand of people seeking housing, as well as increased rental payments. And there's also a reported decrease in housing as well. Not to mention, and I was discussing this with a loved one just the other day. Let's say, for instance, you have all of your financial things together, but your credit isn't up to par. I feel like this too has been used as a strike against people as well, keeping them from finding proper housing. And the things that they probably are able to afford without having to run a credit check is things that are not suitable to live in. And this is also causing a lot of people to move into, efficiency suite hotels, which has tremendously increased as well. It's just really crazy these days, guys. Rent is out of hand, as well as what it takes to move into an apartment. You have to have the first month's rent, you have to have your deposit. It's just so much that you have to have, and then that next month you have to have that whole amount of rent all over again, not to mention everything else. On top of that, guys, we have food costs, which, as we all know, food prices has also become an issue amongst U.S. consumers. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, food prices have increased since July 2022 and July 2023. And I'm pretty sure we all know that, because it seems that every time I go to Walmart, the prices are heavily increased. And it seems like with every store, it seems like things have increased over time, which it puts you to the point where you're like, okay, I have to go to this store and buy this because it's on sale. Then I have to go to this store. You're wasting a lot of gas and time. So, it's all by design, guys. All these things are by design. The U.S. price inflation has also caused a major increase in everyday things we purchase from a grocery store, like eggs and milk, various meats and produce, as well as bread and cereal. According to research, guys, has increased by 25% since 2021. I can see that being very, very possible. And I'm sure you guys can too. And not to mention gas prices. And it seems that I always notice something, even though, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I noticed that when you go to a gas station, you notice an increase in gas, and then there's a deflation in the price of tobacco. Then you notice an increase in tobacco and a decreased amount in gasoline. They never make both affordable at the same time. And this is because these are high in demand consumer products. These are things that, they do statistics, guys. They do studies on the things that American consumers purchase on a regular basis. And tobacco and gas are most certainly, two of those things. And they always play with those prices in order to keep their pockets full and, draining the economy in order to do so. According to New York CNN business reports from July 26th of this year, the average cost for a gallon of regular gasoline increased in 3 months span by $3.69, causing a 5-cent increase in gas in a 24-hour period. And guys, this event was marked as an inflation, as one of the largest inflations in a 24-hour period increase this year. And that's really crazy for them to know as bad of a shape that the economy is in, the pressure on many U.S. consumers, and how hard it is for a lot of people to make it, and then they raise prices on things that people need. People need gasoline, in their cars to make it to work, to take their kids to school. to run errands, to take other, loved ones places that they may need to go. It's just a really big inconvenience, I feel. Last but not least, not to mention other expenses like, your bills, utilities, household needs such as cleaning products, furniture, etc. Your personal needs is such as personal hygiene, clothing, things like that. Even recreational expenses. You may want to go out and have dinner or catch a movie or something like that. Many people save money to go on trips. It just depends. Everything costs, and with the way the economy is built, it's causing a lot of people to fall into hardship. And we as U.S. citizens are working hard to make ends meet, take care of ourselves, our families, and survive. And these measures requires many of us to work very hard and, not only to meet our earthly necessities, but to also live comfortable while doing so. And while many are conservative and moderate with their spending habits, there are many who get caught up in materialism and competing with other people. And this causes them to live above their means. And guys, that's one of the main purposes of this video. I want to talk about financial gangstalking. There's a lot of people who live above their means, and not only do they want to do so, they want other people to do it as well. And there's many reasons behind that. And there's a lot of harassment and persecution against people who choose not to do so. We're going to get into that. Living above your means, guys, is when you financially create a life you can't afford, or one that you are struggling to maintain as a result of competing with other people. Some people feel that majority of the people that are living above their means are trying to impress someone else more than themselves. I've really found this to be true. They're more worried about what other people think about them other than what the Most High thinks about them and what they think of themselves. And this causes a lot of people to be very worn out and unhappy at the end of the day. They may look, it may seem on the outside that they're happy because they have all of these earthly possessions and they seem very flashy and seem like they have a lot of money, but behind closed doors, there are many people that are struggling to maintain this type of lifestyle. And in today's modern society, guys, people want to be liked. They want to be popular. They want to gain these things as well as power and money. And many people feel that the more power, the more confident that they feel, the more money that they have. When they have a lot of money or material things, they feel more confident about themselves. And this is also how many end up in the rat race. And that's another thing that I would like to discuss. For anyone who's wondering what the rat race is, it is an endless attempt and a tactic used in today's modern society. It is a tireless, routine effort in order to maintain a specific lifestyle, power, and financial status. Because, of course, we all know as adults that we have to work in order to take care of ourselves. And we all want to have nice things in life. We all want to elevate and succeed as humans on this earth. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to work hard and elevate in life. However, it becomes a problem when some are never satisfied. This is where the boundaries are crossed. This is where there's no longer any, moderation. And it also creates an endless pursuit for that person. And oftentimes the people close to them as well. Yes, people who are chasing, on an endless pursuit for materialistic and monetary gain, they don't only put pressure on themselves, but they also put pressure on the people around them. And I'm going to explain that. Modern day society, continuous pursuit to chase the bag has caused many to lose valuable morals and beliefs. There's people out here who are creating OnlyFans, They're making explicit videos. They're exploiting themselves. They're degrading themselves in order to maintain a specific lifestyle. And it's not only the monetary and the material gain, it's also the popularity that comes behind it as well. And many take on compromising and degrading positions to maintain this financial and material gain. Now let's talk about financial gain stalking. A financial gain stalker, guys, is an individual or a small group of individuals who harass someone about their current financial status or their overall means of earning money. These days, we may call it pocket watching. We may call it people trying to keep tabs on, on your money. That's exactly what it is, but it's much deeper than what you may think it is. There are some people that all they care about is making money and associating themselves with other people just like them. And if you're not like them, they're going to do all they can to turn you into a bag-chasing zombie. Moderation doesn't exist with financial gain stalkers because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense to them. And it's like a robotic system that has been implanted into their mind. And if you're not constantly discussing means of getting rich with them, you're not considered to be on their level. And have you guys ever been around someone, and I have, where they say things like, if you're not talking about money, or if they're referring to someone else, they may say, if they're not talking about money, we don't have anything to talk about. I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel comfortable being around people like that, because if all a person cares about is money, it makes me feel that they will do anything to get it. It makes me feel that they will go to whatever level they have to in order to maintain a certain lifestyle or to gain it. And it just makes me feel like this person has no time for God or anyone else for that matter. So, I don't know. It's just kind of robotic and creepy to me. And it always has been. They harass you. They try and make you feel less than. They may even compare their materialistic possessions to yours. The way they dress, to, compare themselves to the way that you dress. They may be the type of person that wears designer clothing, and they may put down the fact that you don't dress the way they do. Things like that, which is very childish and petty. But this is a part of the gang stalking harassment that they persecute their targets with. They may call you lazy just for wanting to take some time away from the matrix, relax and spend time with your family. Let's say, for instance, in that situation, let's say, for instance, you may work with someone, a coworker, and they're a workaholic. All they talk about is money, materialistic gain, work. And, they had you going for a minute with it. You were working, making a decent amount of money, living your life, and you still had time for your family and yourself. You had moderation. You were still making a decent amount of money. But this person kind of persuaded you that you can make more money if you start to work on the weekends. So now your whole week is tied up in work. Work. And every time they engage in a conversation with you, they're always asking you, let's say, for instance, are you going to work this weekend? Are you going to do that overtime with me? And if you decline, they may say, oh, you're not trying to get to this bag, or you're not serious about your money, or, you're not on my level. I can't mess with people like you. Don't let that type of stuff intimidate you. If these people want to overwork themselves and continuously chase money and live with no moderation and exhaust themselves in the rat race, that's their business. Just know that it's not normal, and you're not less than because you want to have balance in your life. Also, every time, people like this, financial gain stalkers, every time they engage in a conversation with you, especially if they haven't seen you in a while, they may always ask you where you work and how much money are you making there. This is because they want to keep financial tabs on you, and these people are also doing witchcraft against your finances, trying to, cast spells upon your finances so you can be placed into financial hardship. They may constantly harass you about your current employment position and pay rate, and they may suggest, hire more labor demanding jobs to you, saying, well, they make they make more money here, when you know that you make a decent amount of money where you work, and you're also doing something that's not so physically hard on your body. As to this other place, they're paying you this amount of money, but they're making you work super hard in order to get it. Don't let people, put you in that type of trap. It's demonic, and they don't care about your well-being at all. They're just a demon that's being sent to push you in an unfortunate situation. So don't be fooled by that, guys. The jobs they suggest are a little more labor induced than you bargained for, along with long demanding hours. This job has that they're offering for you to go, so it has more demanding hours that's keeping you away from your family, keeping you away from time from yourself, self-care, time from the Most High. This is all being done on purpose. The truth is, you're happy with your current position and your pay rate at your job, and you enjoy the moderation where you're able to make a decent income and still live your life. That's what it's all about. You're not supposed to be overly consumed into anything. Everything is supposed to have moderation. Too much of anything is not good. And work is one of them. And it's hard for a lot of people to understand that. Financial gain stalkers have various motives for harassing their target. And we're about to discuss some. Guys, just like all forms of gang stalking, this form is designed to either totally strip the target of their finances or persuade them to overexhaust themselves trying to compete in the matrix. And this is by constantly belittling them about their lifestyle. And sometimes when you're close to people, you care about their opinion. And when some of these people happen to be financial gain stalkers, they can belittle you and make you feel that you're not good enough because you're not on the same financial level as they are. And it could sometimes push people into an alternate lifestyle, pushing them into becoming very work consumed and very driven, overly driven to gain financial and materialistic possessions. They constantly pocket watch you as a monitoring spirit, asking where you work, how much money do you make, different things like that. It seems, sometimes they may even try to get a job where you work just to harass you even more and financially compete with you as well. And sometimes it seems that as soon as you share this random piece of information with them, someone is calling you, asking you for a favor. And this is because you may be the type of person, the type of friend or family member who always loan money out, but you may never receive it back. And, you don't really worry about that because you know that you have a relationship with the Most High. He's going to take care of you. So you give it because you want to help people. You want to see them do good in life. And you feel good by helping people. You just have a good heart. You're a naturally genuine person. And you're just a giver. And these spirits know that. So they may disguise, in someone that you really care about. And they may constantly call you for money. And a lot of people feel, well, if I don't give, the Most High is going to be upset with me. No, the Most High even wants you to have moderation in your giving as well. Don't let anyone take advantage of you. You also give your last because you want to see people, do well. And when you're down and out, these same people will curve you. And they may go and discuss your financial hardships with other people. Or if they did help you, they will talk about you having a financial issue, to other family members and friends. This purpose is to leave you exhausted, drained, physically, mentally, and spiritually, as well as financially. They really want to bring you to homelessness, to you having nothing. That's the main goal of a financial gain stalker. They may also suggest that you make large purchases, saying you work all the time and you do nothing for yourself. You need to live a little, things like that. These are manipulation tactics that financial gain stalkers use in order to get you to make outrageous purchases above your budget, so it can set you back financially. So always, look out for things like that. They also always call you involving something to spend money. Always. And when you decline the invite, they call you selfish and a cheapskate. Don't be fooled by that. It's just to get you to spend money out of your means. The truth is, you're trying to save your money and be a little frugal because you've gone through hard times in the past and you now understand the importance of saving and budgeting. And these demonic spirits are aware of this, and they're trying to, bring you back to a past situation that you've made it out of. They may also be intimidated by your financial freedom and the fact that you can make it on your own and no longer need them. And what I mean is, you may have had to live with, your financial gain stalker in the past, and they didn't treat you the best. And this is another way of identifying them as well. When you lived with them, you were, they were doing everything they could to break you because you needed them at that time, and they knew you were working hard to get your own place. They knew you were working hard towards financial freedom. They knew you were trying to save your money. They knew you were on a budget. They knew you had a mission. They knew you had goals that you were working toward, and they were trying to break you from that. They probably charged you a high rental fee to live in their home. Just outrageous. You're renting a room from them, but they're charging you like you're renting the whole house. And you don't even, you also pay for your own food expenses. They may also even underhandedly form noise campaigns, so you will be so tired that you can't perform at work, hoping you will be, will give up, hoping you will be terminated, so they will have more of a reason to persecute you. This makes the financial gain stalker feel that they have more control, because not only do they desire monetary and earthly gain, they also desire power and authority over other people. And when you live with them, they could have also invaded your privacy, not respecting your space and boundaries. You may have come home from work and it seemed like someone may have been possibly going through your things. They're constantly trying to keep financial tabs on you, asking you, have you received a raise from work, questioning the possibility of any other financial compensations you may have received while living with them. They want to know about everything that, you've brought in financially. Their greed and entitlement didn't want you to succeed. So now it's come to the point where you have finally overcame their persecution and harassment, and through the grace of God, you found a place and you left. This is where the persecution got stronger from the gain stalker. They have a motive bigger than the rest of their motives at this time, and this is to put you in a situation where you have no more savings, you're behind in your bills, possibly no job, and in hopes of you leaning on them for a helping hand again. They want you back in their home. And that's when the persecution will get even stronger, because now they've set back when you were gone and developed new ways to try and keep you stuck, to try and keep you in a trauma bond with them. And all of these things are happening because you're targeted for spiritual warfare. And in this spiritual warfare, your finances are being attacked. You've overcame all of the other obstacles. Now they're attacking your finances. New level, new devils. The demon that operates through financial gain stalkers are known as Mammons. And Mammons are demonic entities that promises wealth to the people that worship them, and are also associated with the greediness that triggers the pursuit for constant financial and earthly gain, which keeps people in the rat race, by the way. During Greek times, the Mammon was described as a fallen angel who valued earthly possessions over all things. So as you can see, these people are not just acting like this on their own. They already have the characteristics of greed and, chasing earthly possessions. That's why they were able to encounter this demonic entity. And this is why this entity was able to inhabit them. And also, guys, the reason why financial gain stalkers possess this offspring of this entity is because the main goal behind the spiritual attacks are to drive God's people to get the mark. Financial strain, homelessness, all of these things are being placed upon target individuals by financial gain stalkers who possess the Mammon demonic spirit in order to force them to give their soul to the Antichrist, force them to get the mark of the beast. The enemy knows his time is short, so he's trying to take as many people with him as he can. And he uses his gain stalkers, his offspring version of fallen angels, to do so. Let's talk about the mark of the beast, guys. It is explained in Revelations. Revelations 20 verse 4 says, "Then I saw thrones and seated on them, to whom the authority to judge was committed. Also I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for the testimony of Jesus and for the word of God, and those who had not worshipped the beast or its image, and had not received this mark on their foreheads or their hands. They came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years." Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 says, "Also it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead." Guys, this is the coming of the Antichrist. And many are, honestly, are so caught up in the matrix that they will mistake him for the coming of the true Messiah. The mark is a requirement by the Antichrist of an indication of the last times. It identifies whoever gets it as his child. No longer the child of God, but a child of Satan. His property. And that's how his properties will be identified at the end times, by this mark. Whoever receives this mark will be allowed to buy and sell consumer products in the matrix, but will be cast into a lake of fire right with the Antichrist that they worship. And you always hear people say they may do demonic things for money, and they may say, "I have to do it to feed my family." You hear a lot of celebrities say, "I had to sell my soul. I have to feed my family." Like there's no other way. But see, there are other ways. Those ways are just, they feel are beneath them because they want more. Getting a 9-to-5 is not enough for them because they want more. So, this is what causes a lot of people to sell out. And many will receive this mark as a result of. Now, the people who don't receive the mark will not be allowed to buy or sell consumer products. However, They are identified as a true child of Yahweh, and they will be justified and protected due to their obedience, faith, loyalty to the Most High. Guys, I apologize. That's my dog barking in the background. In these end times, you will see people's true colors. You will see who has loyalty to the Most High and who has loyalty to the Antichrist. And many people will be deceived and surprised by the actions of others around them. You have a lot of people who claim to be with God, but they possess the spirit of the Mammon, and this will drive them to break and get the mark, because they're comfortable with their continuous flow of earthly possessions, the possible power and authority that the money and material possessions has allowed them to have over others. And I just want to tell everybody some things, that will help you make it through this situation if you are being financially gang stalked. And I'm pretty sure a lot of target individuals, if not all, have been or are currently being financially gang stalked. I just want to let you guys know, just do everything in moderation. Overworking yourself isn't good. Do everything in moderation. Overgiving isn't good. Give in moderation. Being too generous can allow you to be taken advantage of and can leave you financially drained. Trust me, I've been there. Don't allow financial gang stalkers to control your finances, especially people who are close to you who try and constantly get you to spend money that you can't afford to spend. I don't care who it is, because they can be disguised as anyone. Don't go over your budget. If you've, have your budget to give for a certain amount of time, your budget to spend on certain things, and once that budget is gone for the week or the month, that is it until the next episode. Stay strong. Stay close to God and trust no one. Strengthen your faith and discernment. You're being spiritually attacked in any form, and this will help you identify it by staying close to the Most High, because He will protect you and He will also bless you with wisdom and discernment. He will also clarify the things that you are confused about. Don't be fooled by people who worship money and material possessions. It doesn't validate who you truly are as a person, and it does weaken your relationship with God. And you have a mission and you have a purpose. And greed and the major pursuit for earthly gain and possessions serves as a big distraction. So always remember that, guys. I wanted to come through and drop this message on you guys. I hope this video benefits someone. Always remember that money does not validate you, and it does not determine who you are as a person in your relationship with the Most High. Don't worry about this world and what the people in it think of you. Trust no one, and work on strengthening your relationship with the Most High before His return. That way you will not be deceived into getting this mark and become property of the Antichrist. I love you guys so much. I really do. I really appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving me. And until the next video, peace and blessings.